The morning mist clung to the century-old residence, the kind of thick, silvery fog that made the sprawling estate appear almost otherworldly. My grandfather, a venerable man whose authority in both family and law enforcement circles was respected far beyond these grounds, required urgent medical attention. A specialized transport had been scheduled to move him safely, a task coordinated meticulously to ensure his security. But Karen, blinded by obsession and disregard for the law, had chosen this critical moment to intervene. Her HOA vehicles arrived unexpectedly at the gates, blocking access to the estate. Karen herself, papers in hand, shouted into her phone, demanding that the transport be halted and that my grandfather be removed from his own property. "You will not move him until we are involved," she yelled, her voice filled with the certainty of imagined authority. I had already anticipated such interference. Tactical units were positioned strategically around the estate, drones monitored every approach, and sensors along the driveway and perimeter were live, transmitting every movement to a command hub I had set up within the residence. My spouse and I coordinated quietly, ensuring that my grandfather was prepared and secure. As Karen's vehicles attempted to block the path, I stepped forward, credentials prominently displayed. "This is private property. Any attempt to obstruct medical transport is illegal and will be met with immediate legal and tactical consequences," I said calmly, voice carrying authority without raising panic. Karen's loyalists, expecting compliance or confusion, were immediately taken aback. My tactical squad, composed of former Marines, law enforcement veterans, and trained family members, moved into positions that secured every route of approach, ensuring the transport could proceed without obstruction. Non-lethal measures were deployed to halt Karen's vehicles if necessary, while drones continued to document every action and word. Karen, frustrated that her plans were thwarted, began shouting into her phone again, attempting to summon outside authorities. Every call she made only reinforced the documentation of harassment, unlawful obstruction, and interference with medical procedures. Her obsession was turning into legal liability, and she was unaware of the scale of the response prepared for such an escalation. I signaled my team subtly, and with coordinated precision, they guided her loyalists off the access paths. The transport team moved in, secure and unimpeded. My grandfather, alert and steady despite the situation, was safely transferred to the transport vehicle. Karen's attempts at interference had failed spectacularly. By mid-morning, calm returned to the century-old residence. Karen had been humiliated, her authority discredited, and her obsession fully exposed. The HOA's interference had backfired, creating not only legal consequences but also demonstrating the futility of her aggression against lawful authority and preparation. I took a moment to look over the estate, the sun piercing through the lingering fog, illuminating the grounds and the lodge in warm light. "She thought she could stop this," I murmured to my spouse. "No," my spouse replied. "Every attempt she makes only proves how powerless obsession is against planning, preparation, and lawful authority." The estate was secure, my grandfather safely transported, and Karen's HOA neutralized in this instance. The final act of the day was decisive. The HOA council, already exposed for repeated harassment and interference, was formally disbanded under my authority. Legal documents were filed, procedures completed, and the property reclaimed fully under lawful management. Karen's interference had escalated to the point of endangering medical care, yet her obsession had been fully countered. Tactical readiness, strategic foresight, and lawful authority had once again preserved the century-old residence, the grounds, and the family against reckless ambition. The estate was untouchable, serene, and entirely under control.